Hello and welcome. I'm Natashya Gutierrez, and this is your 6 p.m. wrap. Vice Presidential bet Leni Robredo slammed Senator Bongbong Marcos for calling on the Commission on Elections to open a part of its system to a public audit. Robredo's lawyer Romulo Macalintal says this means Marcos is asking the Comelec to develop evidence of cheating.
That's a very desperate move on the part of Mr. Marcos, sapagkat he is asking the Comelec to develop evidence for him. Para ba sinasabi niya sa Comelec na, Mr. Comelec, bigyan mo nga ako ng ebidensya? Iyang pagpapile na yan ay pagpapatunay na walang ebidensya si Mr. Marcos doon sa mga sinasabi niya mga umano'y mga katiwalian o pagkakamali sa bilang.
But Marcos's camp cites figures from 104 certificates of canvass, saying Marcos leads Robredo by more than 100,000 votes. Robredo leads the race as of 5 p.m. Wednesday, 35.1% to 34.6%, based on the Comelec's partial count. The Senate and Congress will start the official canvassing of votes for president and vice president on May 25. Former Securities and Exchange Commission Chair Perfecto Yasay accepts President-elect Rudy Duterte's offer to be the acting secretary of the Foreign Affairs Department. The 69-year-old lawyer testified in the impeachment trial of former President Joseph Estrada, accusing him of corruption and abuse of authority. Cebuano businessman Michael Dino also accepts Duterte's offer to be his assistant for the Visayas. Dino is one of the founders of the Bisaya Napud movement and the chief operation officer of land developer Fifth Avenue Property Development. In a related story, Duterte appoints Chief Superintendent Ronald Dela Rosa as the new head of the Philippine National Police. Dela Rosa is known for an anti-drug campaign as police chief in Davao City. Dela Rosa was relieved from his post as PNP Reactionary Standby Support Force Brigade Commander days before elections for a Facebook post openly supporting Duterte. He is retiring January 2018. President Benigno Aquino says he's confident he's leaving behind a much better Philippines. Aquino says, quote, "I was true to you. I delivered on the mandate given by my bosses." The Philippine economy became one of the best performers in Asia, and poverty dropped to 26.3% in 2015, the lowest since 2006. Aquino's anointed Maro has built a platform of continuity on these achievements but lost in the elections. President-elect Rudy Duterte is set to assume the presidency on June 30 after a resounding victory last May 9 on an anti-crime platform. Exiled communist leader Jose Maria Sison talks to Rappler about the role of the Philippine left in a Duterte administration. Sison, who was President-elect Rudy Duterte's university professor, assesses his former student.
Duterte is strong on certain issues, but he humbly says that he's relatively weak on other issues. I think he's a good president if we make clear on which issues. On the issues of corruption and criminality, we can expect a lot of good from him, no? And he's quite modest, no? He says that he's only 75, no? From grade 3 and upwards in his academics, but he's willing to employ people whom he looks up to, especially in economics and other fields of expertise.
Sison also talks about the possibility of working with a new government.
I think if the ground is set for, let's say, revolutionaries to or just legal progressive personalities to take the cabinet post offered, I suppose even the left wouldn't be able to contribute much. But I said that the basis must be laid through the peace negotiations.
Sison, who is exiled in the Netherlands, also gives two conditions for his return to the Philippines.
Do you see enough incentives for you to come home soon?
I think when there is already a mutual ceasefire, I will be able to go home.
So-
Just mark my words. If the political prisoners are released and there's a mutual ceasefire, I will go home for sure.
What if one of the two only is met? Like, kung kunyari sabihin ni Mr. Duterte, okay, ceasefire muna tayo after he becomes president, and it would be a declaration of goodwill on his part, parang confidence building measure. Will that be
Those two are
sufficient?
inseparable twins.
So dapat yung dalawa.
Yes, the release of all the political prisoners and the mutual ceasefire, they are the inseparable twins.
Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump says he's open to talk with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un in what would be a dramatic shift in U.S. policy. The U.S. strategy is to isolate Pyongyang until now, but Trump says he has no problem speaking to the North Korean leader. The billionaire adds he will put pressure on China, the North's only ally. He also calls for renegotiations over the Paris climate deal, saying it's unfair for the U.S., but favorable for the Asian superpower. The climate agreement mandates over 170 countries to reduce their carbon emissions.
That's your 6 p.m. wrap. Watch our updates daily at 12 noon and 6 p.m. I'm Natashya Gutierrez. Remember, tomorrow begins today.